Hello and welcome to Unraveled Game Thoughts. I received a game in the mail from a friend who gifted me with a hosting gift, and it was Brew Crafters. So if we go over here, Brew Crafters. That's the game by Ben Rossett. It's not somebody I've played before. From Dice Hate Me Games. Not a company I think I've used before. So, I'm gonna do like a two-player run-through. It doesn't have a solo version, so we'll just have to see how it works with two players, and I'll play as both players and try to use a different strategy for each player. Um, Looking through the components and reading through the rules, this game it seems like a brewer's dream. As a person who has homebrewed several times before, there is lots of cool stuff. I'll hone in on some of these. These are some of the tokens for the different beers. These are the specialty beers, the dark stout, these here. And then these are sort of, I put all the tokens together that were for the basic beers. When you start the game, you have these three basic beers, and they are in every game, and then you pick a combination of 6 non-basic beers, 2 ales, 2 porters, and 2 stouts. And then over here, if you go back over here, there's like 12 more beers. Let's see, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 different non-basic beers. And I am playing with the base, just the base game, beginner game. I'm not using any of the extra components. There's a few more actions you can take if you use some advanced things. And I wouldn't say they're super advanced. Playing enough games, it doesn't seem like it'd be that much more complicated, but I wanted to get used to playing the game before I did it. But anyway, there's a token for each of those other 13 beers. There's these tokens for them, so it's really pretty cool looking. We have a couple of local partnership actions, or rather not actions, but you can get these cards and it will give you a little something else in the game. The game is played over 3 years and you have 4 seasons a year. And there's some kind of bonuses if you have a farm, and then if you have certain player upgraded actions. I'll talk about those in a second. We have specific people you can hire. These are gives you some kind of bonus whenever you take a certain kind of action in the game. It'll give you that bonus, and so you do have to pay more at the end of the season or for your upgrade cost. Excuse me. And but they give you some extras in the game. This is the market board. So these are all the market actions. Basically, you start with 2 workers, and you can take 2 market actions each season. And these are all the market actions. These are the brewery actions during the brewery phase. And I'm probably going to have to look through phase to phase as I get the turns down. Coming over here to the player board, we have, this is sort of your, I guess your tree. It's got a little bit of a, like an upgrade tree. So it just gives you something in the experiment. This will give you something during the annual winter. So if we come up here, annual winter is when that happens each winter. This will give you something like a breakthrough or something when you do a certain kind of action, it will give you a thing. And then this will give you some game end scoring points. So different kinds of trees, I guess you could kind of go up each one. Looking at my board here, since you have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 3 is 12, and there are 16 of these, you probably can't fill all those up, I'm guessing. Because you can only take these actions like once one's used, you can't use it again. Now, these actions you can do more than once, so, but you start the game out, you can only do 1 brewery action. You have 1 shift worker, and you have 2 market folks. So 2 market actions and 1 shift action to start the game. Second player will start with $7. Um, you have a storehouse where you can store up to 12 ingredients. You start the game with 3. You have a place for a tasting room and a place for a yeast lab, although you don't start the game with those. A brew pub and a farm, again, don't start the game with those. You can build a second storehouse, a mash tun, an oak barrel house, and then you start with a single or basically single, I can't remember what the name of it. It's not a double brewing system, it's a single brewing system that you can work with, but you can't upgrade with these upgrades. So during the game, if we were to upgrade our brewing system, we would put this down here. At the end of each season, or at the beginning of a new season rather, we have to pay for our costs. And so you will count up 1, 2, 3. Right now, it would cost me 3 to pay for all my overhead. Oh, this guy too, 4, 5. So it's going to cost me 5 to pay for my overhead at the end of this season. I believe it's the end of the season. So if we come over here to the rules, let's see. The restock phase, the market phase, market actions, and the brewery phase. So let's make sure that's the market action phase. Brewery phase, advancing the season. At the end of the brewery phase, during each spring, summer, and fall, simply advance the season marker to the new season and start a new season with the restock phase. And after each winter, however, you must first pay your brewery's operating costs. You add up the dollar signs. So, paying for operating costs is going to be a big part of this. We're on this page, so we're going to score points for our brewed beer. We're going to score points for our game and research, our tasting room, our reputation tokens, any gold labels we get, and collaborations. But with two-player game, you don't have collaborations, so don't have to worry about it. And if you have to take a loan, if at any point you can't pay your brewery costs, then you have to take a loan. One loan takes off 2 points, or 2 rep at the end of the game, and anything beyond the first loan is an additional -3 a rep. So I want to try to avoid those. They are not good. Rep is like your victory points. So we're going to come over here and let me see if I can get this up in a way that functionally lets me see the board here. Might see my cat in the corner. He's peeking his head up over the thing. Let's see if we can get all the components in here that are reasonably worth doing. All right, so, all right. So I've made, it's a first player token. I've made black first player and white second player. And so we start the game in the restock phase. So restock phase, we have these items here, and we have a malt market. And so malt market gets three malt. The hops market gets 2 hops, and the yeast market gets 1 yeast. Tried to put all these in separate bags, but some of them, like those spices, I just put all in one bag. And then we put $1 on the private investor. And the start player, from what I can tell, start player stays the same unless somebody grabs that private investor. Let's see, game setup, other. What I'm wondering is if you don't take the first player marker, does the player maintain first player until it's taken? Because that, some games, like Anachrony, you just keep it the whole time. In other games, you actually lose that marker. So I don't see it immediately. I will probably come across this rule down the road. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to put this here and just say black is first player. If white does not take that, white would be first player next. Black would have to, it's going to rotate back and forth unless someone takes the first player marker. We're going to say that. I think that's a fair deal. And these spots are kind of like Agricola, where they continue to accrue items until someone takes the action and takes those items. And I was going to try to go kind of two different strategies here for black and white. I think in general, because there's no asymmetrical boards, so every game outside of the actual beers available would be roughly the same, and the workers available. And so I think with black, we are going to go for I think I'm going to try to shoot for brewing more beer, like the most beer I can brew, but not specialty beer necessarily. I might go for a specialty here and there, but I'm going for less expensive specialties that are a little easier to brew, and mostly I'm going to try to brew a lot of beer. My goal is quantity in beer, but not necessarily diversity. So for white, I'm going to go for diversity in beer and try to brew a lot of different beers that are specialty in nature and see how that goes. So we have quantity, specialty. We're going to go for that. So with our first action, restock phase, we've added new ingredients, and now we do the market phase rather. So we could hire a new shift. Now we can't hire a new shift, which is you can have a second shift, which you'll have to pay 3 at the end of the season, or a third shift, which costs you 4 extra at the end of the season. You can't do that until you've brewed 3 batches of beer. So we can hire a skilled worker if we wanted to do that, and probably should look at these skilled workers. So we have a chemist. He takes 1 yeast immediately, and you take 1 free yeast when you receive at least 1 yeast from any market action space. So this is where we get yeast. We could also get yeast here. It's an open market. Take 2. We can get money here or form a local partnership. So this will give us yeast. Now, if we're going to brew beer, we're going to need yeast. Basically, to brew a beer during the brewery phase, you can brew a beer, and you have to have all of these ingredients to brew. So we have 2 malt and 1 hop. So we have enough hops to brew this, but lack 2 malt and a yeast. So we're going to have to get yeast to brew this one. We can take 1 advanced ingredient immediately and take 1 free advanced ingredient of any type when you receive an advanced ingredient from the market. So this one we know is not going to be helpful with this guy, because he wants to brew a lot of beer. Yeast maybe, but not the advanced ingredients. Logistics: when you receive 2 different types of ingredients from any market action space, gain 1 additional malt or hops. Well, he's wanting to brew a lot, and this would actually help him to get more ingredients to be able to brew a lot, so she might be helpful with that. We'll try to organize these a little bit. We got a brew pub manager. We get 1 rep for each new batch brewed in the brew pub, and you can also store 6, make sure I'm getting it close to the camera there, for each new batch brewed in the brew pub, and store 6 ingredients there. Well, that's handy, and we might need that later, but it's not immediately helpful. The malt importer, take 2 malt immediately, 1 free malt when you receive at least 1 malt from any market space. I do like that one. This one's hops expert, gives me extra hops. We have the yeast lab technician. Your yeast lab provides 1 rep or 1 additional yeast. Let's take these that tend to give us more immediate ingredients, which is what's helpful. And so each time you operate the mash tun, you take 2 rep. That's not going to help us immediately. Whenever you receive yeast from a market action space, take an equal number of malt. Okay. I like the ones particularly that give me something beyond, like if I take one thing, I get another thing. Because I feel like those are going to be the most helpful. So we're going to do this. We're going to put the rep ones down there, and we want those top ones up there. So, all right. So we can get malt, we can get hops, but if we hire somebody, then we will be in better shape to get more ingredients that we might need. We could get any 2 from the market. I think what I want to do is hire a skilled worker. So I'm going to do that. And when you receive only yeast, when you receive 2 different types of ingredients, but it has to be different from any market action. There are 2 spaces that could get yeast. There's only 1 space I could get 2 different things. So I think I'm going to take this yeast market insider and add that to my tableau here. I'll put it on the right side, and I'm going to have to pay at the end of the season 1 more. Normally I'd be paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to make my total end of year cost 6. So that's something to keep in mind as I go about doing this. So now white gets to pick. Now white really wants to make various types of beer, and so I think but this is all, a skilled worker was already hired, so white can't go here anymore. And white wants to get a skilled worker. Let's look at the local partnership. You can convert 1 basic ingredient into 1 coffee anytime and as often as you like. Well, only 2 of our recipes have coffee, so that could end up being helpful. And you may convert 1 basic ingredient into 1 spice anytime and as often as you like. So we have 2 ingredients with spice. There's definitely a lot more coffee than there is spice. And this can give us an advanced ingredient and another ingredient. This is interesting. There actually were 2 spaces. We could get 2 different things. We just can't go back and can't hire anybody. So I think, money's good. Form a local partnership. I think I'm going to form our local partnership, and I'm going to try to get this coffee, because I'm kind of going for diversity here, but also want to get my, I want to focus on quality here, where I'm focusing more on quantity here. So we're going to go that route, and then we come back to first player again. So he gets to take a second action, and when you receive only yeast from a market action space, you can take an equal number of malt. Well, so probably what's going to benefit me the most is to go to this market space, and I can take any 2. Well, I'm going to get 2 yeast. So if I get 2 yeast, then I also get 2 malt because of my guy here. So now my storehouse is up to 7 ingredients. It's pretty, that is pretty tight. It's going to fill up fast. All right, so now, what does he want to do? Okay, I can convert any basic ingredient into 1 coffee. Now I'm going to have to brew a stout and a porter just to get, to get what I need there. So I'm going to have to get ingredients. It does not look like I'm going to be able to make enough in season 1. I could get yeast. I'm going to need yeast, but I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it in this round. And when we get to the brewery actions down here, I can do one thing, but I will need to. I can do the same thing as this action. Like these actions don't get blocked like these actions do. So that could factor in, because when you install equipment, you often get a bonus for installing certain equipment. So that is going to factor in. Whew. I don't like getting yeast because it's not much. And I have the coffee roaster. And I can convert things to coffee, which is helpful, but neither of these take coffee. What I'm going to need more than anything else is probably malt and hops. I could go, because I'm going to want more spices down the road, and I am wanting to make these, I might go ahead and get a coffee, and we're going to get, we can either get 2 wheat or 1 hops. So we're going to get, or 2 malt rather, we're going to get 2 malt and 1 hop. Well, not 1 hops, we're just going to get 2 malt instead of 1 hops. So now we're up at 6. And then we go to the market phase. Nope, that was the market phase. We go to the brewery phase. We take 1 brewery action each for each brewery shift we employ. So right now we have 1 brewery action. So we can process beer. So we sell, then bottle, and then brew, but we don't have any to sell right now. So we would just bottle and brew. If we chose a recipe, we are wanting to make a lot, so that's maybe worth considering. We can install a new building or equipment. Now, if there was a building or equipment, we have this cheat sheet that let us brew or do something right away. That might be ideal. The brew pub acts like a single, okay. Menu process, sell 2 batches. So we don't want to do that. We are going to want to make ingredients. We might want to get a farm, but the farm's going to have overhead cost, and right now our overhead is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we only have 6. So we may not want to get the farm just yet. Well, we might want to process so that we can sell some soon. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to process beer. And the other thing is we could do lab research, which is actually pretty significant. Let's think about that. We're not doing advanced stuff. Place a batch token for any recipe here. Next time you brew that recipe, use this token and score a rep. Place 1 rep on an available building space. When you build there, gain the rep. Take 1 basic ingredient. We're going to want to do that eventually, but for right now, I think we really just want to brew some beer. We're trying to get stuff out, and I think to start, we can only do the one that takes A hops. So if we have these ingredients, this takes 4 malt. So if we take 4 malt and 1 hops, 1 grain, then we can brew a porter. And so we will get the Pleasantly Porter, and it'll go into our, we have brewed, we have bottled, and we can't sell, but we can put it here to sell at the beginning of the next round. And so we brewed 1 beer, and now this player gets to go. All right. White player is going to, oh, and we don't pay everybody at the end of the season. We pay them at the end of the year. So you pay your overhead costs at the end of the year. So I probably could have gone ahead and gotten something there instead of bottling beer, but we're still going for quantity, so we'll stick with that. We'll stick with that. All right. So this one wants to, let's see, he's trying to go for quantity, or rather quality and diversity. So we really want to get stuff going. I'm assuming a basic ingredient is yeast, malt, and hops. That makes the most sense. Those look like the 3 basic ingredients. So place a rep on an available building space when you do build there. We're gonna want to get some things built. That is for sure. Installing equipment is good. You know, I think we're gonna go for the farm. We're gonna install the farm. I think it's the same on both sides. And we'll at least give ourselves some apples. We have 2 recipes that take some apples. So that will be helpful, and we have lots of stuff that's going to take hops. Let's see what happens. Okay. Upon installation, take your choice of hops and or fruit. We're going to take 1 hop. And then each spring, we can plant up to 2 items in the farm, and each fall harvest either 2 additional hops or 1 additional fruit. So you can't plant because it's not the beginning, I don't think. I don't know. Can you plant in the... That's a good question. You may plant at any time during each spring season. So we can go ahead and plant a hops there. What you plant must come from your storage, and you may harvest at any time each fall season. No separate action. So we do get to make a farm and plant a thing. Nice. And then at the end of that phase, I believe we collect all of our tokens. I am playing that turns will rotate unless otherwise specified. So white gets their token and black gets his token. And white will go first this time. And let's see, we have to add a couple of more things here. Let's add $1. And we're going to add 3 to there. And we're going to add 2 to there. And we're going to add 1 to there. So that is that. We are going into the summer now. Let's see. 1 basic ingredient into 1 spice at any time. Well, let's see what we want to do. White gets to go first. So we could actually form a local partnership to get the spice, which is used in 2 ingredients. That's a thing. But we really wanted to hire somebody. When you receive 2 different types of ingredients from any market action space, take 1 additional malt or hops. If we receive, now there's 2 places you can receive 2 different types of ingredients. Take 1 hops immediately. Take 1 free hops when you receive at least 1 hops. Take 2 malt immediately. Take 1 free malt when you receive at least 1 malt. Take 1 advanced ingredient immediately. Take 1 free advanced ingredient of any type when you receive an advanced ingredient from an action market space. I think we're going to hire this skilled worker because he gives us some good stuff. So that's going to give us 1 advanced ingredient immediately. And I think coffee is going to be what we end up trying to get. And then whenever we get 1 free advanced ingredient anytime when you received an advanced ingredient from any market action space. So we'll do that. And then black gets to go. We are still going for quantity for black. So we really want to get stuff, and when you receive only yeast from a market action space, you can take any number of malt. We can get a lot of malt here, get a lot of hops there. Ooh. We could take 2 yeast, but we have 1 extra yeast, which is kind of handy. We could go, well, we're trying to produce a lot of beer, and we're going to try to get our costs up. I think I'm going to go for all this malt, and then I can go always get more later. Probably going to have to get a storehouse for this guy, because now I have 7 things in my storehouse. It's a lot. All right. So we hired somebody last time. Now, what do we want? Well, we didn't have yeast and we couldn't make anything. So we're kind of, and if we get too many more ingredients, we're going to be up a creek. From any market action space. So we're not going to do that. I don't know that I want the spice. I'm going to need hops. I'm going to have yeast, so I think I'm going to just go ahead and grab these 2 yeast here so that I have them. And then black will go, again, going for quantity. Now he's got 7. So 8, 9, 10, 11. He can go 11. Yeah, he's going to go grab all these hops. Because he's going to need them anyway. So we only have room for 1 more ingredient for him. Now white gets to go with the brewery space. All right. They've got the farm. We don't need that. Lab research. Take 1 advanced ingredient at the start of each winter. Take 1 advanced ingredient and 1 basic ingredient. We're going to go lab research and move up there. And immediately get 1 advanced ingredient. We're going to go ahead and get that. Actually, you know what? We're going to be able to get apples probably pretty easily. Spices, I think, are going to be the thing we're not going to be able to get. So we're going to get 1 advanced ingredient there to get that going. All right. Let's see. So black gets to go. He is wanting to produce a lot, so we're going to have to get this farm going. We immediately get a hops, and we can store it. We can plant it on our farm, and we'll do that because it would go to our storage, and then we can go to our farm. All right, so that's that. We are going to move into the fall. So black gets his workers back, white gets his workers back, and then we put some more stuff out. Let's see. This is getting pretty rich up here. We're going to get 3 more malt. We're going to get 2 hops, and we're going to put the yeast down. All right. And let's see, getting close to the end of the year, we're going to have to pay costs soon. Whew. Black's first this time because nobody got this. And what do we want to do? We can sell a beer this time at the end. Oh, I forgot. I forgot the brewery phase last time. Well, nobody got. We didn't sell any, so the beer just sits there until it is sold. I gotcha. Until we process beer. You sell first and then do the other thing. So we will stick with that. All right. So black will go. He's got plenty of ingredients. We don't need ingredients. What we might do is need money, but we also could hire a skilled worker. That would be handy. We don't need. We could afford one more, two different types of ingredients from any market action space. Take one additional mortar hops. That's pretty good for getting stuff. So we want that hired worker, or do we want money? We're going to say black wants money. They're going to get that and the first player token. So they go first next time too. All right, white. Okay, what do they want to do? When you receive two different types of ingredients from a market action space, and there are two places you can get that, you get one additional malt or hops. We have lots of ingredients. One yeast from any market action space. We could get one yeast immediately, which is helpful. Two malt immediately, but we have room for two malt. We could do it. Your yeast lab provides one rep or one additional yeast whenever you conduct lab research. Ooh, lab research gives us, okay, one rep or one additional yeast. I like that. I think I am going to take a chance. We want our yeast to be good, so we're going to get a yeast fella there to help us out. Okay. And then we are back to black. All right. He doesn't need ingredients. Money is good. Could form a local partnership, but we're really looking at quantity more than anything else. We only have room for one. So we're just going to take $2. We're going to do that. Which we'll take a 5 and put 3 back over there, and then white gets to go. Still only room for 2 ingredients, which is going to be difficult because we only want 2. We could get hops. We're going to need hops. We could use yeast. I think hops is kind of the thing we need the most of, honestly. So let's get hops, because we'll probably make a beer this round. Get rid of some ingredients. Oh, but at any point in the fall, we can do this. So that's good. We'll wait till the end so we don't have to worry about that. All right. So black gets to go with his beer action now. That's the market phase, so now we're in the brewery phase. One brewery action. So do we process beer, or do we install new equipment, or do we do lab research? Well, we've got to use some of our stuff here. So we're going to process beer. We're going to sell this beer to get $2, and then we can bottle and then brew. So we are going to, let's see, what do we want to make? I kind of want to do what gives me the most. It gets rid of the most of my ingredients. I think we're going to have to use a yeast. We're going to have to use that. We're going to have to use 2 hops. I think we're going to 6, 4, 5, 6. That's used 7. We could keep one of these back and use these and make a everyday ale. So we'll do that. We'll make one everyday ale. We've sold. We've done that. And it is the fall, and any time in the fall we can harvest, and so we'll get some more hops for that. That'll work for me. And then it'll be white's turn to take an action. In this case, we can do whichever we want. So my inclination is to make a double batch brewing system. It means I will not get anything next round, but I'm not actually sure I could use it just yet. So I think we'll wait around and process beer. Man, I really want to install the equipment though. I could install, but then I have to wait to process beer. And I'm not really trying to do a ton. At the start of each winter, take one advanced ingredient and one basic ingredient, but I would lose it this time because I don't have room for it. So I really am going to have to process beer. That's going to have to be my goal. And I kind of want to save ingredients. Well, I want to get those. Actually, I want to get those. Oops. Get to where I can brew those things that take coffee because I'm going for high-end beer. So we're going to do that and 1 hops and 1 yeast, which gives us, kind of leaves us with not much in the malt category. We'll have to be mindful of that. There'll be 6 there next time. So we'll do this, and we will brew the pleasant porter. We'll do that. All right. So that is those actions, and we will go to the winner. Annual winter. So if we had something here, it would do a thing, but we don't have anything there. Black got first player, so black gets to be first again, and we have to fill up the spaces here. So we get 1 of those. We get 2 hops and 3 more malt. Okay, so that's that. All right, black's going first. And at any point, we can plant a thing, but I'm not sure if we want to yet. We don't want to have to get hops ever again. I'll go ahead and plant. If you don't harvest in the fall, it's going to go rotten. But I don't know that we need to plant, to be honest. That might not be our best option. Skilled worker. When you receive 2 different types of ingredients, take 1 hops immediately. I don't need hops. Each batch brewed in a brew pub. Also, you may store 6 ingredients there. Oh. Well, we don't have a brew pub yet. We'll have to get that. Take 2 rep. Very interesting. We really want to get some more equipment. Don't need money. We're going to need yeast, and we're trying to brew as much as we can, and if we take yeast, only yeast, take an equal number of malt. So that will give us 2 yeast, will give us 2 malt. Okay? So now we're ready to brew when it gets to our turn. We are going here. We can take 1 advanced ingredient immediately. And let's see. The farm. Did we not get that? We did not get the yeast lab. That is a thing that we're kind of wanting. Or did I? The yeast lab provides 1 extra lab. We have not gotten the yeast lab yet. We need to build it at some point, but we can't do it yet. I'm gonna need some malt, so we're gonna grab this malt here. I'm gonna do it, and then market action. Whew. Form a local, forgot to put that up there, partnership, or we could hire a new shift. 3 batches brewed. We only brew 1 batch. We could hire a new shift, and I think we have the money to pay for it. So we have 2 shifts now. Um, yeah, let me make sure. Oh, once you've brewed 3 batches, we can't hire a new shift until we brewed 3 batches of beer. So we have only brewed that 1 batch of beer and sold it, and I think I'm supposed to put it off to the side here, so I'm going to do that. So we have to do a different action. We could get the money. We can't get the malt. We don't need the hops. We don't need ingredients at all. Anytime as often as you'd like. We can hire a skilled worker. 1 rep for each new batch brewed in the brew pub. Each time, take 1 yeast immediately. And you receive at least 1 yeast. Okay. Well, we could really get a lot on the yeast there. Take 1 additional malt or hops. Take 1 hops immediately. Don't need ingredients though. So if I would have to take a yeast immediately, I'd lose some. That is a tough one. But I think it will help me. So I'm going to go ahead and get the yeast guy because I kind of think they stack a little bit. And we'll see how that works. I mean, that makes us, when we get yeast, we get a lot more. And we just can't get a yeast right now. What I could do is plant that, and then I could get a yeast right now. I don't know if it's going to help me. Only yeast from a market action space, which we only received yeast. We would receive malt, but we can't do anything with it. So we'll call that the action, and then this guy gets to go. Well, he's going to be first player anyway. Doesn't need ingredients. We'll take $2. That will be our action for this one. All right. Then, so we're at 9. Then we go back to black, and he gets to take, he can process beer, or he can install new building or equipment. I hate to install equipment, but I can pay for it right now. And if I install this, it will be able to process more beer in future rounds quicker. So, with the double batch brewing system, when you process beer, you may brew, bottle, and sell 2 batches on your brewery floor. The double batch brewing system covers up the single system that you started the game with, a hop infuser currently on your fermentation tank, and any beer currently or in your bottling line remains after the installation. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then it is White's turn. So what does he want to do? I again have a lot of stuff here. I have brewed a pleasant porter. I actually have what I need to brew a Viva Java porter. I totally could do that, and I could sell, but I kind of want to get, let's see, I got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right now I'll be paying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I install the brewing system, I'll have to have more room. The yeast lab is where I'm going to actually get some benefit. So I am going to install a yeast lab, and we'll go with that. All right, so black gets workers back, white gets workers back, and then it is the end of winter. We have to pay our workers, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's going to cost us 8. And this one is going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I just barely have enough. 9 will do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I paid 9, so I get 1 back. And that will go there. We'll put 3 malt there. We'll put hops here. He lost his hops because it rotted out, so didn't harvest them. Didn't harvest. That, whoops, got the wrong thing. Put that there. And then we will go to the spring. And I think white goes first this time. Yeah, black went first last time. So 1 rep or 1 additional whenever you conduct lab or research. Well, we are not going to conduct lab research yet. We're going to need to get some stuff. But we have plenty of ingredients. We need a storehouse, honestly. The storehouse is, we need that more than anything else, I think. So we're going to go here and grab some money because we're going to eventually need the storehouse and the first player token. All right. We, with black, are going to don't need ingredients. We'll grab $2. $2. Did he spend all his money? I think I misdealt something there. All right. Okay, so white gets to go. We have not made 3 batches of beer, so we can't hire a new shift. He hasn't made 3 batches, so he can't hire a new shift. Could hire a skilled worker. We don't have room for that. Brew pub manager is actually helpful. Take some ingredients from any market action space, take 1 additional malt or hops. That will be helpful. I'm going to go ahead and hire that skilled worker. And then 2 ingredients, can't go there, can't go there. Don't need yeast. Don't need hops, really. Don't need the advanced market. And we can't use this anywhere else. And we don't need yeast. So I guess we'll just pass. Because we really don't need any of those other things. So that's kind of unfortunate that we have a pass there. This is one of those areas where I wonder if it would be better if we had an option here. Shuffle the deck of skilled workers, hire interns. There's 2 season spaces, market or reaction each season. I was wanting to use interns, so I'm actually gonna just pretend that we use this. We're gonna put the higher intern space on here so black doesn't like lose a turn. And so these go on to each of the next 2 season spaces. And place 1 intern on each of the next 2 season spaces and use the intern as a market or brewery action each season. So basically black will get these workers 1 for each season. That's not too bad. So then white is going to get to take a brewery action. Now white still has a single brewery system. We're still wanting to produce some good beer, and we're wanting to get stuff stored up here. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and install this there. We're going to get built up to get some more beer. And then black we're still trying to brew beer. We got our thing installed. We're going to process beer. So $2 for that beer. And then we can brew 2 beers if we have the ingredients for it, which I'm not sure we do. 1, 2, 3. We don't. We don't. So 1, 2. We're gonna go 4, 1, and a hops. You know what? We'll do 2 hops and 3 of these and a yeast. We'll do that. Slightly fewer ingredients, but that will allow us to brew a everyday ale. So that'll go there, and we don't have enough ingredients. Let's double. I think we have to have ingredients. When you process beer and sell 2 batches on your brewery floor, brewing covers up the single system you started the game with. All right. Double batch brewing. Basically, I'm wondering if double batch brewing, do I get to brew bottle sell 2 batches on your brewery floor, double process, standard, double system. Okay, so I'm curious, do I need twice the ingredients to brew a double batch? Do I have to brew 2 batches at once, or even 0 batches? Okay. Can I brew? All right. All right. Building and equipment. Doesn't say for sure. So that might be I'll watch somebody else's playthrough and see how they do it. So I'm going to assume you have to have all the ingredients for 2 batches. So I just can't do 2 batches at once because I don't have all the ingredients. But what I am going to do is probably never get hops again and put hops there. So we'll do that. And then White's taken their turn. They've taken their turn. Did they want to plant anything? I think he is going to plant the hops in the fall, and then White will get that back. Black gets that back. We're going to get a yeast. We're going to get 2 hops. We're going to get 3 malt, and White's going to go first. Black gets an intern, and the interns can be used either in multiple ways. So we are going to the summer, and White got the first player token. So they could hire 1 intern in each of the next 2 seasons. So I think you can only have, like, if there's only 1 intern, I think the rules said you couldn't hire more than 1 intern, like, at a time. You know, like, you only have 2 in the game if you are doing interns. So let's see. Which I kind of don't know if that limits it. I'm not sure if that might be a house rule I end up doing where it's like, well, you can hire interns. Because the extra shifts gives you extra stuff, but I feel like with interns you should be able to market actions. Okay. All right. So that's another question. I have to look that up, how to do interns. But I'm assuming if I put that there, we'll just put 2 more interns out, and then one of them is White players, one of them will be Black players. The question is, do we want to do that? I haven't done 3 bottles of beer, so I can't do a shift. I have more room in my storehouse, and my yeast lab provides 1 rep whenever I conduct lab research, but I can't do lab research yet. I'm gonna go, okay, I could get advanced ingredients immediately. Let's see, well, because I can do, well, I don't have a tasting room yet, so I just have room for ingredients, but I can't do much with them. I can convert any basic ingredients into coffee, which is nice. I'm gonna want to do that eventually. I actually don't have a lot of hops. 2 different types of ingredients from any market action space tank, 1 additional malt or hops. I need some hops. So I might as well do this, and I'll go ahead and get an apple, and then I will get, because that'll be 2 ingredients, I need hops, and I'll just get, I'm going to get, it gives me another malt or hops if I get hops. So I would get 1 hop, I'll just get another hop. 1 additional malt or hops. So that gives me 2 of those. And starting in my next storehouse. All right, so black is going to go. What does he want? Take 1 yeast immediately when you receive at least 1 yeast from market, and when you receive yeast from, well, I don't need yeast right now, honestly. I need other ingredients to make stuff. And I don't need hops. I need malt. I need malt, because hops I can get. So I'm going to go here and take all this malt. I think that's going to help me the most. And then I'll probably have to get a hop in there or something. All right, so what do we want? Oh, that's where I'll get the hops. Don't have to worry about that. All right, so white, what does white want to do? Still, we're going to need some money. We have got to make some beer. Whew. Oh, we received an advanced ingredient from a market action, so we can receive an advanced ingredient immediately. Forgot to do that. We did this one, but that one triggered as well, so that's handy. We are going to need money. We're going to need to brew beer like crazy. You know what? I'm going for the interns. I'm going to hire the interns. So we're going to go here and here, and that's going to give us interns in future rounds. We're going to do that. And then, so black has an extra space here. He's got 1 place to go. Hire skilled worker. He has brewed 3 batches of beer, so he's going to go ahead and get another shift. That's what we're going to do with him. And then, yeah, these guys should be here. And then white is going. So, pull, your yeast provides 1 rep or 1 additional yeast when you conduct lab research. Start of each winter, take 1 advanced ingredient, 1 basic ingredient. Okay. It's pretty handy. That's going to trigger twice. I'm going to do lab research to go here. Doesn't give me anything immediately, but I did do that, which triggers my lab yeast technician, and now I get a yeast. Okay, so we will do that, and then black gets to go. Now he has 3. He's got an intern and the 2 workers, so he can do a ton of stuff. I think we're going to have to install. We're going to have to install storage. That's just going to have to happen. The shift worker. This is where it gets it gets pretty crazy. We're gonna do we want to do lab research? You could just skip the research and just not do that. We could install some new equipment. The brew pub. That doesn't store us anything. I don't care about that. Don't care about the oral ton. Don't care about the mash ton. What does the mash ton do though? That might help us. Take 1 malt per remaining full season, up to 6 malt max. The hop infusers. Take 1 hops and then cover each fermentation tech on your brewery floor and in your brew pub with a hops infusion tank if you only have 1. Okay, blah, blah, blah. When you process beer, you can add 1 extra hops to the recipe for any Scotch ale. Okay. Well, we could do a hops infusion system, but we don't have a ton of hops, not the fall, so we can't. Oh, it should be the fall. Actually, I should have moved that. Right? No, because he had these two and I had those two. All right, so it's not the fall yet. Do we want a bash ton? Do we want a brew pub? You know, the brew pub is actually pretty helpful. So we're going to do the brew pub. We're going to install that. And then when we install the brew pub, acts like a single batch brewing system, except you skip the bottling step. When you take the process beer action, any beer already in the brew pub is immediately sold. Collect 2 like normal. 1 batch in the brew pub, in addition to any batches you brew in the firm. So we're trying to brew a lot of beer. The brew pub helps us with that. That fits with that goal of doing lots of stuff. And then we're going to process beer. Now, we don't have enough hops to process the beer we want, but we will brew. I'm going to go, well, I need to do 4, 1, and a yeast. We're going to do that because that's what we can afford. And that's going to brew a Pleasantly Porter. I forgot, we were supposed to sell our everyday ale. That gives us $2. So we'll put that back. And then we'll go back here. So he gets both his shifts back. This worker goes here. Beginning of next season, he's going to get a worker. He's going to get a worker. We are going into the fall, I believe. And Black gets their worker back. And we are starting, oh, we got to put 3 of these on there. 1 there. 2 more hops. And put another yeast on there. All right. And I think we've done everything we were supposed to do. Yep. For each brewery shift they employ. Okay. So, woo. All right. Black goes first. And it is the fall. He needs some hops. He is going to harvest the hops to get 3. We have a storehouse now, so we're good on hops. And if I go here and take yeast, then I also get an equal number of malt. So we'll get 3 malt, and now we have a place to store it. Okay. And then we receive the yeast, so we get 1 free yeast immediately from our chemist. So we'll do that. Not bad. All right. We definitely don't want to hire interns. We have not produced enough beer. We're going for quality. So far, I'm not sure that's working for us. Convert 1 basic ingredient into coffee. So we can convert anything to coffee. We're gonna need hop. We're gonna need malt, actually. So I think when you receive 2 different types of ingredients from any market space action, you can take 1 additional malt or hops. Well, that's not bad. Because if we go here and we get a malt and a hops, we can then take another malt, right? We didn't receive an advanced ingredient, so now we're up to 7 in that storage. We can store up to 12. Okay, so now it is his go. Does he want a local partnership? Does he want interns, or we have to have brewed 9 batches to get another person there, so that is significant. I wonder why you have to have brewed batches. That's interesting. Do we need malt? We don't need that necessarily. We don't need that. We are trying to brew a lot of beer, so we may need more hops. Let's get 2 malt and 1 hops, because we're trying to brew like crazy, and we have the option of brewing 3 things here. So this is not bad. And those guys we can only use there, so now white gets to go. Local partnership, can't hire a skilled worker. We could take some advanced ingredients. Not a bad idea. We have brewed 1 pleasant porter. We could brew that, and if we had an advanced, well, we can't get an advanced ingredient there. Okay, so that's not an option. We have an intern. We don't need it. You know what? I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with $2. I'm gonna get $2. We're gonna need the money eventually. All right, so that puts us at 5. We're gonna have to sell beer eventually. All right, and I am gonna go ahead and put that in there. Oh, it's not the fall. It's the fall now. I should have done this last time, because we're not in the winter. We are in the fall, so I can harvest what I've planted. So we'll put that in our warehouse. So now we have some extra hops on our stuff. All right, so now it is Black's turn. He is not going to take any more actions there. We're going to pass him that phase. He is going to use his shift worker. And do we want to make beer? I think, could we make 3 beer? Could we? What does the tasting room do for us? Tasting room. You must have a total operating cost of at least 12 to install tour and tasting room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1 rep for every remaining full season. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 rep. But you score points for each different advanced recipe. We're not really looking for that. So let's see. I think we're gonna brew beer. Can we brew 3? I think we're gonna process beer. So we're gonna sell this. Boom. Get $2. That's good. We are going to. How much beer can we do? What's the that takes the least amount of ingredients. So for malt, we would need 3. We'd need 2 of these, and we would need a yeast. That's to process those. 3, 2, and a yeast. So we're not really in the best position to brew more than 2, but that does give us 2 everyday ale if we do that. So we'll put that in our deal there, and we'll turn those in. and we have brewed 2 everyday ale. So that works. And then white gets to go. They have a pink intern they can use. I did lab research. How much beer can I brew? I don't have a brew pub. I could install equipment. The brew pub, it's more for brewing lots of beer. And I want to brew high quality beer, but I can only brew 1 per turn if I do it this way. Although I could do a Viva Java Porter, and I would be the first to brew it. So let's go ahead and do some producing of beer. So we'll sell that. We'll make $2. And we're gonna do a Viva Java Porter. So there's 4 malt. There's 1 hops, 1 yeast, and 2 coffee. Okay, we'll do that. We get this token. It's going to give us some points. And we get a Viva Java Porter, which we'll put here. Boom. Now, I will say, playing this game and understanding a little bit how beer works, I feel like you should get more money for selling beer. It says $2 per batch. So I feel like that's kind of a little rough, but they do give you more victory points, so maybe there's a trade-off there. We'll see how the points go at the end of the game. We'll see how close it is. All right, so now black gets to go. I've also noticed that if you can be the first to get one of these folks out, it helps you quite a bit. Do we want more equipment? We just brewed beer, and I've got 2 workers left to do stuff. Nothing's going to give me... I do need hops. I could install the hop infusers, which is not a bad idea, because I immediately get 1 hop into my ingredients, and I get a hop infuser on these, which allows me to then get some extra points at the end of the game. +1 hops in the ale. Yeah, so we can infuse everyday ale with hops, and that'll give us an extra 2 points whenever we do that, which is not bad, because the everyday ale is what we're looking to do. But I have one thing here, so I can either process beer, which I can't because I don't have enough ingredients in my stuff here, or I could do lab research. You know what? Lab research might be the best thing to do. Basic ingredient, 3 basic ingredients. I'm wanting to brew stuff, so I'm going to take 1 basic ingredient, and I am actually going to get hops. So we'll do that. That is all of my shift workers. These go here. These go here. These go here. This goes here. White's going to get an intern. This is going to go here at the beginning. If we had annual winter, we do at the start of each winter take 1 advanced ingredient and 1 basic ingredient. Okay? Let's put my basic there, yeast there. We'll put coffee down here. So we get 1 advanced and 1 basic. We're probably going to need yeast. Let's get 1 more advanced. I'm going to go for coffee. And there, that's good. And then I think, oh, we got to put a $1 there, 3 there, 2 there, and 1 yeast there. And then now it is White's turn. We have done 2. That's all we've done. Actually, I think it's Black's turn, honestly. I think they get to go. I could take that. I could take that. I really need malt, though. Malt is very helpful. Most I could get is 2 yeast from anywhere, so don't really need yeast. This will be helpful in the fall. You know what? He's got tons. I'm gonna take them all. I think because I'm gonna need malt. We're gonna have to do that. And then white gets to go. Don't want interns. Hire a new shift. I haven't brewed enough beer yet. I could get that, which I'm probably going to need. And I don't want to wait till next turn, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this. And I will be the first player as well. And then black will go. I need all of this stuff here. I can't trade it for anything, so we're just going to grab this and that. How much room do we have for these hops? Well, and the hop infuser will let me do a decent amount, so that's not bad. All right, and then white can go. End of the year, I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3. 2 types of ingredients from any market action base, gain 1 additional more hop. I don't have enough to do any of that. Oh, he couldn't do that. Not the spring. This is tough. If I don't use this, I lose it. I can't get a hard worker. I don't necessarily. I'm gonna have to pay 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have enough. Or 8, 9. So I have enough to pay for my end of year overhead costs, which is good. Maybe I should go 1 advanced ingredient. Okay, 1 advanced ingredient at a time. Can receive an advanced ingredient from the market. So I could. 1 additional. That's actually not bad. If I go here, I can get a coffee as an advanced ingredient, and then I get 1 more advanced ingredient, and I will get a couple of malt. When you receive 2 different types of ingredients, you can take 1 additional malt or hops. I'll take another malt. That'll work. And then he's done. Do I want to use this? I don't think. I think I'm going to hold on to him, and we'll go to the brewery phase. And then I think black was first this round. White just took the marker for next round. So install equipment or process beer. Well, we really want to process beer. We have a brew pub. We could do 3 beers if we have enough stuff. The mash tun is the only thing that would give us a malt. 1 less ball per match. Okay, and that would actually be good. So let's install a mash tun. I feel like that's good. That will be my action there. This action, I need to get some more beer brewed, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the best I could do is that and that, because that takes too much. I need to get an everyday ale brewed so that I could potentially brew the Patches Pumpkin Ale. So let's install. Well, I will sell a thing, so I'll be able to make more this round. I'll do that. Okay. Then black gets to go, and he's gonna process beer. So the mash tun immediately gives him 1 per remaining full season. 1, 2, 3, 4. he would have gotten 4 of these that he can't fit on there. So he would have lost that. 2 batches at the time in your brewery, 1 less malt per batch. So we can brew, let's see, we really want to brew everyday ale. And we can do it for 1 less malt per batch, except that doesn't impact the brew pub, where we have to use 3. And then we're going to need 2 hops per batch, and we need 1 yeast per batch. Okay, and we can add a hop to each batch, hop infusers, and that'll give us 6 of these for our beer. Okay, so we'll get 6 of those, and then we are brewing. We're also selling these, so we'll sell these 2, and that'll give us $4. And then put my hops that over here and that over here. That gives us 3 batches of everyday ale. Boom, boom, boom. There. And when we process beer, where are we supposed to put those? Oh yeah, everything is, there's plenty of, so we'll use multiplier tokens if we need to. Alright, so we got our everyday ale. We did beer. We did that. We're good. Got some extra bonus points. Nice. And we have a few things in our storehouse. Then light needs to go. So I need to brew beer. I really need to brew 2 beers. Do I want to do lab research? 1 advanced ingredient when you receive at least 3 ingredients from the market action base. That's not bad. Okay, I'm going to process beer. That's what I'm going to do. So we're going to sell the Java Stout and get $2. That's handy. And then maybe like 15 minutes. Or write a question down. That's fine too.
I was just
looking. Oh, okay. And then, okay, I'm going to process beer, and that's what I'm doing. I need the everyday stout. So I am going to do that, 2, and a yeast. Can I also do a Viva Java Porter? That'd be fantastic. Can I brew 2 in the same thing? Can I brew the base recipe of a style, for instance, every day, and an advanced style, for instance, at the same time? I'm brewing every day. No, I have to brew it on one turn and then the next. Okay. So I can brew the everyday ale. I can do that, and I get an everyday ale. That's doable. I also kind of want to brew a Viva Java Stout, but I haven't brewed a Simply Stout either, and I'd like to get more of those advanced recipes going. So if I do 4, 2, and 1, 2 and 1, then I will have unlocked my ability to do all of the recipes. So I will do that, and I don't have to use any of my advanced ingredients yet. So that's handy. And then that's my last guy. That's all those guys. So now we have to pay for our workers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 he has to pay. I have 12, so he pays 12 and has to take a loan. 13, 14. Oh. 15, 16, and gets a single buck back. All right. I have to pay 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I can pay 11. I need a loan for 12, and it gives me $1 back. Okay. Wow. All right. So then we'll gather all of our peeps for the last season and go to the spring. We get 2 yeast, those guys, and 3 of these. All right. Ooh, this is going to be tough. We're definitely going to, and he had the first player marker, so he gets to go first. White goes first. All right. I'm definitely going to plant that and plant that in the farm for this year. And we need to get some stuff. We need ingredients. So 1 additional yeast. We need to conduct lab research. 1 advanced ingredient. Okay. When you receive 2 different types of ingredients for any marked action space, gain 1 additional malt or hops. Okay. So we need 2 types. We need malt. We need hops. Hops are the easiest to get because of our ingredients. So we do need interns, and I don't want to have to wait for interns. I'm going to go ahead and grab. I'm going to get these interns because I'm going to want those for sure. All right. We need to get stuff done. We might need to process more beer. We only have so much storage. Does the oak barrel house give us more storage? What gives us more storage? Oh, one of these went into the everyday ale. Okay. Yeast lab. I thought there was another place we could get storage. Oak barrel house. For each batch of brew, 1 rep. Mash tun. 1 less malt. Okay. Must be one of these that gives you 1 rep per new batches, and you can store 6 ingredients in the brew pub. Well, I have a brew pub, and that actually is pretty handy. Plus it gives me rep for each new batch brewed in the brew pub. So I'm going to need as many points as I can get. So I'm going to hire a skilled worker. I'm going to hire this guy. Then I can store stuff. I got to take a ton of loans next time. Man, we need stuff. I hired those guys. Any 2 ingredients. I'm going to get apples. Don't need to worry about that. I actually kind of could probably use more coffee. So I'm going to grab a coffee. And then I'm definitely going to need malt. So I can take an additional malt or hops. I will take an additional malt. And then I can get 1 advanced ingredient of any type. We'll get a spice and all right. And black can go. Well, we're going to get some hops. We need malt now. If we get yeast, well, here's the thing, we need yeast. So if I take these 2 yeast, and I receive another yeast, And then I receive 2 malt for that. And then I have used mine there, and he's done. So we go to the market actions, and we're going to install new building equipment, process beer. See, this is rough because I don't have enough. If I process beer, I can sell it. But I really want to get more quality beer. The lab research gives me a yeast. So if I do that and get a yeast, that's pretty handy. And then I get to do lab research. And if I receive 3 ingredients from any market action space, I get 1 advanced ingredient. That's pretty good. He gets 2 actions. He really needs more ingredients to brew a lot, but can sell quite a bit of beer. I think the brewing room, brew pub. Any beer already in the brew pub. So we don't really have enough to get stuff going. We could do lab research. 3 basic ingredients. That would actually end up being pretty handy. These 2 ingredients from the market action space. Does the oak barrel warehouse help me? Gives me 2 malt for each batch you brew with that symbol. Score 1 rep immediately. That'll give me rep. I think I am going to do this. And the question is, each batch brewed in the brew pub. I could just brew in the brew pub and make like that. And that would give me some extra rep. 1 rep each. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, this sells, which gives me 2. And then I'm brewing in the brew pub. I'm going to use an extra hops. I'm going to make a Pleasantly Porter. Whoops. And put it in my brew pub. And then I need 4 of these and 1 of these. And normally it would give me, because I'm using the extra hop, I'd get 2, but I'm going to get 3 extra rep for brewing that. So that's going to increase my rep a good bit. I will take it. And that's all of my guys. So we go back to, we're going to go to the summer. I get an intern, and he gets those, and I get, what do I get? Oh, I gotta put a buck here, I gotta put 3 here, and I gotta put 2 here. So I believe black goes first now. And what do we want to do? When I process beer, I will make a decent amount of money. We are in the summer. Whew, the interns are going to be pretty helpful. I have not done, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've processed 7 beers. So 8, 9. I have 9 batches brewed, I could get a third shift for there. I can do it. Hire 1 now and 1 intern. Interns are helpful. Oh, I had to pay $1 for that. I forgot to pay for the interns. Well, we'll discard that $1. And I will. But I need malt. I desperately need malt. So I'm going to go ahead and take this malt before he can take it. Because he's going to need malt too. That at least gives me the opportunity to potentially brew some beer this round. I don't have $1. I could take a loan and gain $2. Pay 1 for interns. That wouldn't hurt. That is an option. Or I can take the hops, which I'm going to need eventually, but I really need malt. Take any two different types of ingredients. If I get an advanced ingredient, then I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and get a spice, and I am going to get 2 malt, and I can get an additional malt or hops. I'll get a hops. Nope, I'm going to get a malt. And when I receive an advanced ingredient, I may get another advanced ingredient. I am going to get actually another spice, because I might need that. All right. So that's that. And then it is Black's turn. Okay. We need ingredients. Well, we're gonna need hops, so I'm gonna grab the hops. You might as well grab them all. And then white gets to go. I could do that and it give me more. I do need yeast, so I will get a yeast, and I will get a hops, and then I will get another malt. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna get another malt. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm filling up my storeroom there. Didn't give me any other things. That's okay. And then black would go. White can go if he wants, but wants to save it. Black's gonna go. All right. So he gets first dibs. Does he want to install anything? Does he want to process? Does he want to do lab? Breakthrough. Take 1 basic ingredient when you receive at least 2 ingredients from the Market base. That is actually going to be extremely helpful. So I'm going to do lab research. Now, if I want to, I can brew any advanced recipes for each of the 6 different advanced recipes I brew. So I think I am going to do lab research and go here, which gives me a yeast, or 1 additional yeast whenever you conduct lab research. So I'm going to do that. So I have the yeast, and then his go. Well, he wants to brew beer. Nothing takes 2 yeast. I can do 1 less, and I only have 2 hops. So I need something that takes 2 hops. So I could do 3. I can do the Pleasantly Porter. I think we're going to brew, and we're going to sell these for 6 total. 5, 6. And then we are going to get, we're going to brew, we can only brew 2. And we can't actually brew this one. So we're going to give $2 back. And since our malt is 1 less, we can do that for 6. We can go ahead and pay an extra because of our hop infuser, which gives us 4 of these, which is very nice. and we have to pay our 2 yeast. So that gives us 2 pleasantly porters, and they will go into our cell section there. That one we didn't do, and we are done. And it is your turn. All right, now, can I brew? What can I brew? Or do I want to make my malt cheaper? I could do a mash tun and make my malt cheaper. That would not hurt. But I think I need to brew beer. I think that's what I need to do. So we're going to sell those. And so that gives us $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do that. And what do we want to do? Got $4, and we got to brew some beer. We want to get recipes that are spicy. So we're going to do 3. Oh, we only have 2. What takes 1 hop? That porter takes 1 hop. I kind of want to do stuff that takes 1 hop. There's only 2. So we're just going to go, for that. We're going to get this one. It'll take 1 yeast. Oh, we don't have an apple, so that's not going to matter. That takes 5 hops. Well, let's just do the one that takes a spice and a yeast, a spice, and 1 hop, and 5 malt. We'll just do that. So there's 5 malt, yeast, spice, and that, and we will get a Spitfire cinnamon porter in there. If I had enough to brew another batch, I could, but I don't think I do, so that's that. I'm basing coffee and something like, but I can't go backwards. All right. Tons of regular ingredients, not enough of the other stuff, sadly. All right. So that's all of these guys. They come here. This goes here. Intern comes to him. Gets these. Gets that. Whoops, put that in the wrong spot. Put that there. And I think white goes first this round. This is the fall. That guy goes over there. This is the fall, so we can harvest in the fall at any point. So we'll get 1 extra apple and 2 of those. That doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Oop, we need an apple. All right, let's get the apple. And that's our thing. It doesn't take an action. We're supposed to have 3 there, 2 there, 1 there, and $1. I desperately need money. I'm taking the money, and this, yeah, that's gonna happen. Black's gonna go. Boy, we need stuff more than anything else. You receive at least 2 ingredients. Take 1 basic ingredient when you receive at least 2 ingredients from the market action space. Okay? Well, we're brewing basic stuff. So I think we want to go here. And well, if we get 2 yeast, then because of this, we can take an equal number of malt. So we'll trigger him first. Well, and we triggered this guy. So that would give us 3. And then we can trigger that because we said at least 2 ingredients. So we can receive 1 basic ingredient. So we'll get this, and I can harvest this for 3, and that gives me that. All right, so that's not bad. And now it's his turn. I need malt. I'm going to take malt. Well, the question is, I could get 2 malt there, which would also give me another, but I don't need the non-basic ingredient, which is, yeah, I don't need that. So I'm going to grab that and that. That works for me. His go. He's got a guy. What do we need? We need malt. So I guess we'll just get 2 malt there. And a non-basic ingredient. Doesn't matter what it is. Okay, so then he could go again. Get 2 buddy. Can hire a second shift. He's got enough to do it now. Yeah, we have to do it. We have to hire a second shift. We're gonna do that. All right, and then let's see, 1, 2, that's 5. I'm gonna go turn this in so I can keep better track of that. I think White took first this round, but I don't know. Did he go first? Yeah, I think he did. So White's going to go first in this section. Do we want to install equipment, or do we want to just brew beer? That is a good question. It's the fall. What do we want to do? I think we want to, well, we can brew for less. If I install equipment, I can get a mash tun, which actually helps with some stuff. And then for him, we'd kind of like to brew for each of the different basic recipes you brewed. Oh, that's pretty awesome. We're going to go there. And then we're going to process beer for sure. This is going to give us $2 for that, and then we need to brew. Now we can brew for less. We don't have to, and we really want to brew different recipes. We really want to brew cheaper recipes. So I can brew this for 2, and then let's see, I need 2 hops. For that, I need 1, and an apple. So those are my hops, and my that, and then I get the Patches pumpkin ale. So I have brewed that, and I can brew one more thing. Can I brew one of those others? Well, this takes 3, that takes 4, that takes 2 hops, that takes 5 hops. So let's go, that would be 3, 2 hops, and a yeast and an apple. So if I do that, then I can brew a Sweet Surrender. Gives me another one of those, and we'll get the blackberry stout. Put that in there. Not bad. Leaves me with coffee and that. All right. So then he's got one. Well, he's going to have to probably brew beer. What's he want to brew? That's the thing. What takes 4? It takes 4 and 1 and 1. Pleasantly Porter is what we can basically brew a ton of, because it takes 1 less of those. And if we do that, and that, and that, we can add a bonus hop to 1, giving us 2 victory points. And we only get the discount if we're brewing in our actual brewer. So we can throw these down here, and we are going to sell these for 4. and we get 2 Pleasantly Porter. And they go in our deal there. Okay. And then we go to this season, annual, winter. And I think the annual winter is if you've passed it, you get it, right? At the start of each winter, take 1 advanced ingredient and 1 basic ingredient. Well, we're going to take a malt, and we're going to take a, let's see, what we really want is to get that one. Hey! Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
All right. Almost done here.
Okay.
I'll go hang yourself after. All right. Let's see. We're going into this season, so we'll grab that and that. He was used. We've got the extra shift workers. And that we get a yeast and a couple of hops and 3 more of those and $1 on that. And then it is White's turn, because he got to go first. Skilled worker, new shift, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have batches of beer. We need malt like crazy. It would be awesome if we could do 2 batches. So if we got 2 yeast, 7 hops, and 3, 4, 5 malt, we would be golden. But how do we do that? We could get 2 yeast there. We would need 3 coffee to do that. We have the 3 coffee, so we don't even need this. That's our 3 coffee. We need no spices. It'd be nice if we could trade. That would be such a huge deal. We need malt. The trade action. I can see why that trade action is extremely handy. Okay. Our new shift. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. Form a local partnership. That's not going to help. We need malt. Man. Well, yeah, we're going to have to take the malt, because he needs malt too. So we'll put that here. We might be able to get malt another way as well. We'll see. So now, nothing on hops. We could, well, if we get this, we can get, all right, we got 1. So that's a total of 3 yeast. Well, we get an advanced ingredient, which doesn't really matter. But we get 1 basic ingredient, 2 ingredients from the market base. We got 2. So that gives us, that'll give us 3 malt. I'm gonna let these stack. I don't know if they're supposed to stack the way I'm stacking them. Might have to look, but I'm gonna let them stack. Like I can take them in any order I want to get them to stack, and so I can get another basic ingredient. I'm gonna need hops, so I'm gonna grab the hops, and yeah. At the start of each winter, oh, I forgot to do, at the start of each winter, 3 basic ingredients. So I could get malt, hops, and hops. Okay, we'll do that. I forgot to take my annual winter thing. So then white gets 1. I need hops. I need hops. I could, let's see, when you receive two different types of ingredients from any market action space, receive one additional malt or hops. Oh, well, I could have gotten that last turn because it didn't, it could have stacked. Advanced ingredient, take one free event if I receive an advanced ingredient from any market space. Okay. All right, so two different types of ingredients. You receive three ingredients from any market space. Okay. So if I get these three ingredients, then I can get an advanced ingredient as well. And whenever I gain an advanced, I got two different types of ingredients, so I can get one malt or hops, I'll get another malt. So we'll just say they trigger that way. Not sure that's 100% accurate, but it's really hard to get this ingredients, and it seems like it's a lot more fun if you can just trigger multiple things. That way in the order that you choose to trigger them. Seems like that makes the most sense, but I'll have to read the rules after and see how that works. So what does he need? He needs more malt, and he needs hops. He's got plenty of yeast. He's doing basic ingredients. He's going to do two, you take any two, rather. So he's going to take, I guess, a malt and a hops, because that makes sense. And then no more workers there. So now we go to this shift. Now, I want to brew two. I could get a yeast just by doing lab research. I could also get a basic ingredients. I would need 3, 4, 5 malt, 2 or 5, 6, 7 hops. I have 5. So I'd have to get 2 more hops. I need yeast. I need a basic ingredient. So by doing a lab upgrade and going here, I can get a basic ingredient and to get an additional yeast for that. So that'll give me yeast. And then for this guy, processed beer, I can get the Oak House, the Yeast Lab, or the Touring thing. So does it give me anything right away? I can take one yeast immediately, but I don't need it. Oak Barrel House will give me 2 malt immediately, which I might be able to use. So if I go here and install the Oak Barrel House, and I can immediately get 2 malt, that might be worthwhile. Okay, so now we're going to process beer, and we're going to have to sell this beer for 4. Boom, boom. And we are going to process beer. What do we want? That takes 3 coffee. I've been wasting this coffee the whole game. 1, 2, this would take 4, but I get to do it for 3. So there's that. There's that 3 coffee. I need 1 yeast. I need 2 hops. Okay, so there is that. And then I get the Grimm's Black Alley Stout, the dark stout. Yeah. All right. Now I can do 2 things. The question is, what's the second thing? I don't have enough hops for that one, so I can't get that last deal that I really want to get. What gives me the most points? Well, if I could do another Grimm Stout, great, but I only have 2, so it has to be something that only takes 3 to brew. It looks like I could do the 5-point Patches Pumpkin Ale, because I could use 2 of these, 2 of those, 1 yeast, 1 spice, 1 apple. That would work. So put those there, that there, that there, that there, that there. Done. Get a pumpkin ale. Done. All right. And he's going to definitely processed beer. The question is, what is it? And it's going to be basic. So if we do an everyday ale, first of all, let's see what we can do. We would sell first, but we're going to sell at the end. So if I do 3 everyday ales. They take 2 hops apiece. They would take 1 of those apiece. Really, I can't do 3. I can't do 3. Those take 3 of these apiece, so I could do those. They're going to give me the victory points if I do, because they take the 1 hop, and then if I infuse another hop in each one, that will give me 4 of these, which I think is going to be the best option. We're going to sell these 2 for 4. It's going to give me 4, and then we get 2 more Pleasantly Porters in there, and we sold those. So that does that, and we go to no more actions. So now we'll do see what we can pay for. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 we have to pay. So we have to take another loan to pay for our brewery, and that's going to pay the 2 we need, plus we get 1 back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we have to pay 16, and we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, plus $1 to boot. So we ended up with basically the same amount of loan there. 3 loans and 3 loans, huh? So that ended up being about the same. All right, so let's look at point scoring at the end. All brewed beer will score its points. So let's do black first. We get 2. These are each 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Game end research. So we're at 32. 2 rep for each of the 3 different ones 3 different basic recipes we brewed. Each of the 3 different basic recipes we brewed. 32. So that'd be 34, 36, 38, 40, 42. I'm assuming that it's 3 of those. So 42. 1 rep per different advanced brewed recipe, so we get none. 42, 52, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. No gold labels, none of those. 61 minus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 53. 53, and then 1 rep for each new. Oh, that didn't matter. Okay, brew and brew pub. Okay, so 53. 53 is the final score for this one. Let's see how this one did where I was going for diversity. All right, so first we start with all brewed beer. All brewed beer, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 5, 36, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 36. So 36 for brewed beer, not bad. Game and research. 1 rep for each of the 6 different advanced recipes you brewed. So we're at 36, 37, 38, 9, 40, 41. 41. Okay. I see how that works. Okay. We don't have the tasting room, so it doesn't matter. 41. We have no rep tokens. We're still at 41. Gold labels, 3 per. 42, 43, 44, 5, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 3, 4, 5, 56. No collaborations. Loans, -8. So this guy wins with more beer. I didn't get any more points from here. No. Yeah. Okay. So 56 -8 is 48. So 48 to 53. So brewing lots of beer worked better, but it really seemed like, to me, the real key seemed to be unlocking this guy. Getting beer brewed is really significant. And honestly, if I'd really focused at the beginning of the game of getting these 3 brewed and made that highest priority, then it might have unlocked a few more options for the other things at the end of the game. Definitely have to play it again. Definitely have to play it with some people, see how it changes. Lots of pieces in this game. But it's pretty fun, and honestly, I think it really hits at the heart of the brewing process. There's a lot of pretty accurate pieces to this here. The money being tight, I think, is really interesting, and having to take the loans. I was really trying to avoid loans at the beginning of the game, but after having played this, I will definitely play a game where I don't even worry about money. I'll just take loans willy-nilly and see what happens. Like, see if that gets me to where I can brew a lot more beer a lot faster and not have to worry about it, because I'll get so many more points at the end of the game. I was playing a little tighter over here. I never used this local coffee partnership, because I was thinking I was going to focus on one thing, and then later in the game I was like, oh, I'll do them all. And so I think if I was doing that over, I would not have wasted an action on that guy. These are pretty important. I don't know how I feel about the basic ones. I'm kind of curious what the other ones are like that are non-basic, because I feel like they would actually be better. I think I would want to play with more actions out there. Putting this action out here felt like a necessity. The base game, I can see where the base game is good for learning. That makes sense. But it is definitely better with more of the actions available and being able to do some different things. So I think there's another board that you can put out. This is for 3 to 5 players, so you wouldn't have used it with 2. But I think you could probably add any of these actions. Hire an intern. Shuffle the deck of skilled workers not used in this game. Draw 6, and you may hire one of them for $1. Shuffle the rest back in the deck. That's not bad. Trader's Market. This would have been fantastic. I could have traded coffee for some other things I needed. I could have traded some of these ingredients. I didn't need them, and I could have used them. Develop a secret recipe. Choose a new recipe not in use. Place 5 rep tokens on that recipe and collect the rep the first time you sell the recipe. That is fantastic. Went community farm, being able to put some items on the community farm, and then you split that among the players whenever you put it on in the winter and or spring, and then you can take it off in the fall, and then you can get once the farm is full in the fall, that's when you take those items off and you split it among the players. These are all fantastic actions. I would consider adding all of these actions into the game as an option, even with two players, because they seem really, really good. So this was fun. I am looking forward to playing this again. I'm really looking forward to adding the additional parts and pieces and seeing how that works. I kind of feel like after playing it once that there's room to do like make a few rule adjustments. I'm not sure where yet. That remains to be seen, but I do feel like there could be some rule adjustments that are helpful and would allow players to feel there's a little bit of a blocking action certainly that goes on, and I can see the need for some of that in this game. Otherwise, everybody can get everything all the time, and it takes out some of the worker placement fun. But I think there were a couple of times where I just felt like, oh, there should be another thing here. And it might be solved with just the actions. It's quite possible, but I'm not 100% sure. It'll take a few playthroughs. Didn't get all my stuff built up here. Probably could have built a tasting room in here, and that would have made a huge difference because at the end of the game, I would have gotten a rep for each different advanced recipe I brewed, whether I sold it or not. So that would have been an extra 5 points with that one because I brewed 5 of them. I also wonder about maybe adding more recipes. It doesn't seem like that would hurt much, although it does take away from some of the competition in going for these recipes and being the first to grab them. But I would think the more that are out there, the better that could be with even more players. So, pretty interesting. Well, thanks for watching Unraveled today, and hopefully I'll get this posted soon, and we'll see. You can leave comments below if you've played this game. Love to hear your thoughts on it. See if there's other games like it that you would compare it to. Heaven and Ale is the only other game I have that I would compare this game to, but Heaven and Ale is just so completely different. This one feels a little bit more like Dinosaur Island, I think, than Heaven and Ale. It's got a very similar feel, a little bit of Agricola, a little bit of Dinosaur Island, but good, and love the theme. Love the theme. It is super fun. So I'm looking forward to playing this. I'm not sure if I'll get my family to play this. Definitely not my kids. I don't see them playing this one. Becky, maybe. We'll see. But I can get some of my other friends to jump in on this one. So, all right. Until next time, from Unraveled Gaming.